I see everybody is engaged and happy, so I'm happy too. And I would like us to begin this totally amazing evening. At first, of course, we want to acknowledge that the ICMGLT, our organization, is headquartered where the Lenape lived before and during colonization of the Americas. We recognize these indigenous people of Manhattan. This is not the T is headquartered where the Lenape lived before and during colonization of the Americas. We recognize these indigenous people of Manhattan, their displacement, dispossession, and continued presence. We always begin our dinner with the blessing of my brother. He adopted me long time ago, probably because of Elsa. Are you, Kelly, are you in touch with it? I don't hear you.
Give me just 1 second, I'm just gonna make sure you see me.
Okay, 1 second. He's all the way up in Canada. And you remember him, Chief Phil Lane Jr. He always opens our evening. Okay.
Itakepi, my very beloved relatives of our beloved human family. I want to extend a very warm and loving handshake and embrace to each and every one of you. And I'm so thankful to be here in support of my beloved elder sister, Yael, who I've known for many years. In fact, I want to say before I pray, and I think all of you will agree with me, the one who's behind and is a recipient from myself of a great award, is our beloved elder sister. Clear back in the early 70s, here she was, before anybody else beginning to deal with the intergenerational trauma that came from the Holocaust and their survivors. And she has served in every way you could think about in the United Nations, always moving forward with the understanding that we have to have healing of the intergenerational trauma suffered by our human family, whoever it is. And from that beginning with the Holocaust, she's taken this incredible understanding and shared it now with all human beings, all members of our human family who have suffered this way. So I want to say that, and I pray here, I want all of us to have in our hearts, as well as the beautiful Ambassador Verveer, Dr. Bechor, Baba Sheik, and Gift of Life, who you'll honor. But at the same time, I want to remember my dear elder sister. I wish I could be there, sister. I'll have to go through every word spirit. Okay. All righty. Creator of the universe, most beloved one, all powerful one, most kind one, most compassionate one, ever forgiving one. We call upon your holy power that animates, sustains, inspires, uplifts all life, from whence we all came, from one sacred source. We pray this night on this beautiful occasion of honoring members of our human family who have given and sacrificed so others might live, that we might remember all our relatives around Mother Earth who are starving today, who don't have clean water to drink, no decent place to live, and the 3.5 billion human beings who are living on $6.85 a day. Let us remember them in our hearts and our souls as we honor these relatives who have given their lives to uplift our human family. And to Kashlawakantaka, in this honor, we call upon all the tribes and nations of the East, from where comes the red sunrise, to come together in honoring and unification. In the South, from where comes new life, we call upon all those tribes and nations to come together in unity and harmony. In the West, from where comes thunder, lightning, and rain, we call upon all those tribes and nations to come together in unity and harmony. In the North, from where comes the cleansing snow, call all those relatives together in unity and harmony. We give thanksgiving to our beloved Father Sky who reflects those masculine qualities each of us have. And we ask, Creator of all good things, we might be forgiven for this overabundance that has caused such despair in this world, however they're exhibited, whoever exhibits them. And Creator of all good things, we just ask that we might step back as men, as we go, those of us who are overabundant in these qualities, and step back, we might allow that other dimension of ourselves to unfold. And in great respect for our beloved Mother Earth, the giver of all life, and her spiritual representative, womankind, and all those whoever they may feel they are, because we know our souls has no race, no gender, no ethnicity, no class. Our soul is a reflection of your oneness, of the oneness of God, the oneness of our Creator, the oneness of Wakantaka, the Great Spirit. And so with this understanding, Creator of all good things, we call upon your holy blessings as they've been through the beginning of time that has no beginning, from whence we all came, from one sacred source, each one of us, a sovereignty, ancient, imperishable, and everlasting, each one of us, sacred member of this human family, all of us, indigenous people of this Mother Earth. And so at this time, to call together the unity of the human family, I'll share this prayer and thanksgiving for all those who are standing up today with love and respect and unity and justice, so we might end forever war upon this Mother Earth. Oh my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal unto them thy great purpose. May they follow in thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor, and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps with a light of knowledge, and cheer their hearts by thy love. Verily, thou art their help in the Lord. Halmi chante washte alo, shunk mano he meado, shinupasava meado, halmi chante washte. Now, in our closing words as Dakota people, we recognize that which is true of all of us. My name is Shukmano, my name is Shinupasava, and I stand fully responsible before our Creator, before Wakantaka, for my words and my actions. Halmi chante washte. And again, sister, it's so good. Always you put on a good deal. It's always so good to be with you. And all the relatives. Mwah!
Mwah, to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sister. Have a good one.
Yes, you too.
I sure am.
Take care, my love.
Okay, see you, my love.
I would like each one of you perhaps to join and say a few words about you, about the importance of this evening. Roger, please.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark, a retired professor from
Do you
Rutgers
hear
Law
him?
School in Camden, New Jersey. I taught international criminal law for many years, did a lot of work on human rights, and I met Yael in 1984 when we were working on the drafting of what became the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Victims. So I've been under her thumb all these many years, and it's very nice to be here tonight. Thanks.
And just to add, Roger was in our founding board, of course, as is Andre.
Thank you very much, Yael. I've known Yael for many years. In fact, she gave me the honor and the opportunity to contribute to the creation of the Trust Fund for Victims, which I had the honor to
In the International Criminal Court.
sort of contribute to invent it at the International Criminal Court. So we both are very much committed to the well-being and justice, equality, dignity for all people. So this was reflected by Chief Fontaine and I guess all the other guests tonight. So congratulations, Yael, for all the good work that you've been doing and all the inspiration you've been to all of us all these years. Thank you.
Natalie, no, next. Okay. Shy people are allowed. Oh, well. Hello. Isha. This is our youngsters' table. And they are going to be our future. in the center.
Yes.
So, Disha, sweetheart, you speak.
Hello everyone, my name is Disha. I am a sophomore in high school and I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Danieli, I'd say a couple weeks ago only. It's been relatively recent through my friend Jeremy here. And he introduced me to her organization and we've had a couple of calls since then. This is my first time meeting her in person and yeah.
Okay, yes.
It was my first time meeting everybody here. My friend Jeremy invited me and gave me the synopsis of what tonight was about, and I took great interest in it, and I just came here to learn and hear everybody's stories, and I just think it's very important, and I'm very happy to be here and excited to learn from all of you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy. I met Yael about a year ago at the UN side conference where we were talking about the non-proliferation treaty and the review and the upcoming review at that time. Since then, I've had the privilege of being on many Zoom meetings, listening to webinars and talking, bouncing feedback, and almost like Yael I would consider her as a mentor to me, a developing mentor for me. And now we're here and we are, or I'll speak for myself, I'm excited to be able to have the opportunity to carry, to be a, maybe some sort of path maker of how future generations can think of themselves as future ancestors and what that means to think that you leave a legacy behind.
Hi, my name is Hereditary, and I am here first time. I came because of Yael, of course. I know Shai also, and our connection actually is from the art world, mostly, also with Yael and Shai, and I would say I represent more the artistic and not the politics side.
She also writes, so by the way,
Yeah,
she's too humble.
I'm a painter and a poet, and I write. So I can say that art has a deep connection to trauma. It's one of its main motive of making art is dealing with trauma actually. And I'm thinking this can be a nice contribution to bring some words that represent the more emotional experience part and also in the visual arts. And I'm happy to be here to meet everyone, and thank you.
Thank you, Michal. Yes, the arts are extremely important to us in the center. Our acting president is an artist, so no apologies here. And Dr. Melanne is on our, you speak for yourself.
Hi, I don't like public speaking, but I guess I'm gonna do it. Yes, I'm Lemmy, and it's a privilege and honor to be part of this group and also to work with Yael. I'm part of the Permanent Forum for People of African Descent, and I'm of Haitian ancestry. And I always thought we had to look at the impact, the intergenerational trauma, and the legacy of slavery on the Haitian population. And I had presented that to UNESCO, and then somebody said, well, do you really want to do the research? And I said, yes. They said, I have the perfect person. Called Dr. Danieli. When I called, she answered, and she was so happy. She said, I've been telling them for years they had to investigate.
She'll tell you about it.
Well, the issue of the Haitian, but nobody want to listen to me. So And so we've been talking, we've been looking at it, and what's good about it is like you see the humanity and the correlation of other people's trauma, that everybody's human. And that's part of the beauty of that. Okay? Like we experience trauma is trauma, and we have to acknowledge that in each other. Okay? Nobody's pain is greater than the next person.
Hi, Bruce.
Hello, everyone. Is this working?
Yes.
Okay. Very great, but I really should have been seated at that table
Ah,
with the young people.
we all want to.
Exactly. So I'm here because of Elsa,
Perfect.
and I had no idea what I was coming for. But then I read I read the title of the center, and I've known Elsa since I rolled into the permanent forum on indigenous issues with Evo Morales, because I was in service to that. And somebody said, she's Greek. I said, what? And we really hit it off, and then moved up here some years later, and through other connections we wound up together, and now we're stuck with each other. But I just want to say that when I read the title of this event, I was really animated to come, because something just clicked for me. You are a healer, and it came together, and you've healed yourself, you've healed the people around you, and you've had this huge impact through your work. And so to be here and to be able to celebrate you is very important. And it's a delight to meet all of the rest of you as well. And I'm looking forward to hearing from others. So, handing it off.
I think he's allowed.
Hi, I'm Bruce. I'm Elsa's husband. I'm here primarily to honor her and her friends, because I have been privileged to meet friends that I'm very happy to honor and who happen to be here to honor her too. So all of this is great. You might want to turn this off though, because I'm going to say a word on behalf of the people of Gaza, because I hope that intergenerational trauma is a concept that is going to be applied. Lord knows, those are people often who left in 1948 and have had plenty of intergenerational trauma already. And with what's been happening since October 2023, there's a lot of intergenerational trauma that's been created. So I hope organizations like this will be paying attention there where attention needs to be paid. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello, good night. My name is Miriam Masaquisa Jerez. I am Quechua from Ecuador, and I am very honored to be in this event. And I am also coming because of Elsa. And thank you very much for your organization for honoring Elsa. She is a great person. She is one of my mentors who love very much, and she's my best friend, and also someone who is always ready to provide you support, to guide you, and there is not a time limit, I would say. And I am really happy to be here tonight, and I hope to learn a little bit more about each of you. Thank you.
You're going to speak again.
Okay. I am.
Later.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. That would be a surprise. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Carol Pollock, and I am really happy to be here. I've never been to one of your events before, but it's very nice to meet you this evening. I am also here in the Elsa fan club. Elsa was my first boss and mentor at the United Nations, and she is the person that I aspire to as I go through my life there at the UN and in the world. and I am not alone in that. Many of my colleagues that worked with Elsa feel the same way, that in a world where it's very easy to allow oneself to be ground down, Elsa was somebody at the UN, and still is in life, who always keeps her eyes on the prize being human rights and human dignity and environmental justice and women's rights, and is always thinking about how to take the next step towards those things, no matter what else is coming at us. There's always, I feel, a very clear vision, and so incredibly inspiring. So, and I'm also very happy to be here and to hear everyone else's stories this evening. Thank you.
Mayambut Taram na Okcheri. I pay my respect to each and every one. In my indigenous language, my name is Bina Nepram, and I am from the state of Manipur at the Indo-Burma border, a place which has been seeing conflict for the last 80 years. So I've been working on healing and peace for almost half of my life. For me, peace building, because I come from a war zone. You may think India is the world's largest democracy, but we have in India martial law imposed on 45 million indigenous people since 1958. And my country, I love my country, but my country is hiding this news from all of us. And that's not right. We have to do the right thing in village or in the capital or at the UN. So I'm here living for my own safety because of the work that we are doing. And we are living through multi-generational trauma for the last 80 years, from my grandfather's time to my mother's time and to our time. And I have a daughter too, and it's passing on through her. Until today, we are not seeing any resolution. So for me, again, like many others, I thought Elsa was inviting only me. Then I came here, I said, Elsa has invited 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just so special. I came from DC, I'm there just for my safety there, but I came last night from DC. But today when I heard our brother saying this on International Criminal Court, in the last few months I've been thinking how to take our issue to the International Criminal Court. As indigenous people, we're not allowed to take our issue of what is happening in our lands and other parts of the world. But we will have to find a way to take this up. So I just wanted, it is serendipity that today we are in this August gathering. Yael, I'm meeting also you for the first time, but I sense the love, the care, and the spirit, intergenerational. And please consider me to be as one of your people who will journey along with you from now onwards. This is our commitment from now onwards. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
And actually, you have a whole bunch of folks who are experts in the ICC here.
Oh my God.
I'm only one of them, but these are lawyers. And we have, actually, she is also the head of the Washington Coalition for the ICC. Yeah, you'll hear from these folks. We collect the best. And in that sense, we are really center. We really embrace the, yeah, you hear more. Okay, who do we start? You. My daughter. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Murekatete, and I'm also really, my name is Jacqueline Murekatete, and I'm really honored to be with all of you. I think I'm going to say that.
Do you hear her?
Yeah.
I'm blocking.
Oh, nobody blocks faith.
Yeah, so my name is Jacqueline Murekatete, and I'm really honored to be with all of you this evening. I think you just said it. Being in this room just feels very comforting to know that we are among people who are similarly committed to equality and justice. So as Dr. Danieli said, I am one of the lawyers at this table. So I'm a lawyer, I'm a human rights activist, and I run a nonprofit organization called Genocide Survivors Foundation, which is committed to fighting the ideology of genocide, educating people, particularly young people. So we do a lot of work in high schools and middle schools, educating young people about the dangers of hate and extremism. And we also do work to support survivors of genocide and mass atrocities. And the work I do stems from my own experience as a survivor of the 1994 genocide in Rwanda, which I survived as a child of 9, and in which I lost my parents and all my 6 siblings. So the work that I do today is something that is very personal to me, because when you go through an experience like that, one of the things that you hope is to do your part to make sure that other children, other people don't have to experience such similar atrocities. But unfortunately, as all of us have been saying, although we keep saying never again, we are living in a world where, you know, the ideology of genocide, where hate and extremism has been on the alarming increase in this country and around the world. So that is the work that I do, and I've known Dr. Danieli for more than 2 decades. I met her when I was 16, actually, when I started speaking, sharing my experience of surviving the genocide in Rwanda, and I was speaking alongside a Holocaust survivor, David Gertzman. May his memory be a blessing. So that's how I connected with Dr. Danieli, and I've been one of her biggest fans ever since. She's somebody that I admire for many, many reasons. But what I always say over and over again is I have always admired the heart that she has for survivors of genocide and mass atrocity crimes. Because we live in a world where atrocities happen and the world moves on, and it's only very few people who actually stay with the survivors and try to make sure that survivors' rights are enforced, the survivors receive the services that they need to heal, so that way the trauma that they experience, as you said, is not continually being passed to the next generation. So I really admire the work that she has done to support survivors and to educate the world about the multi-generational legacies of trauma and the fact that the world need to invest more in making sure the survivors' rights are enforced, that the services that they need are provided, so that we can hopefully spare future generations from the type of atrocities that we've experienced. So if I haven't said it enough, I just want to tell you that I love you very much, and I admire you so much, and that whenever I feel overwhelmed with everything that is going on in the world right now, I think a lot of us, we've been talking about it a little bit on this table, that we've been feeling a lot of emotional overwhelm and being paralyzed with everything that's going on. But whenever I feel like I want to give up and just accept the world as it is, I look at you and I remember the decades that you've dedicated to this work, and then I get up again and I just always remember that I don't have the luxury, none of us have the luxury of giving up, that we have to keep fighting for justice, and we have to keep doing our part to promote peaceful coexistence amongst all people, because I think that's a goal that all good people should be dedicated to. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Stand up. Oh, okay. So you've started a precedent. Okay. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Faye Paris, and I had the profound pleasure of knowing Yael, Dr. Danieli, also for close to 2 decades. And I have to say, when I first met her, I was at a UN event. I was involved, I still am involved with the Women's Bar Association, and so we do a lot of UN events. And I met Dr. Danieli, and I met this lovely woman here, and this man here, and ultimately that man over there. And that's how things happen and occur whenever you meet Yael. It's not just one person, it's you're meeting a whole community. And one of the things that have really, really impressed upon me, I say that there are many shades, many colors in a rainbow, right? A neon orange is not brighter than a cobalt blue or a dazzling red. They all have a part to play. But I have to tell you, Yael, your light shines so bright, and it persists and it continues, and you have such a profound knowledge about how things work, how to frame things within the context of international law and justice. Because if you don't have the right framework, then it's really hard to effectuate the change that you want to see within communities. So for example, explaining to people that it's not restorative justice, it's reparative justice is an example. Or to explain to people that you're talking about victim survivors. Or to explain to people just a myriad of associations that we don't really think about because we just go about and look at what the news tells us. But I've learned so much from her. I'm so honored to be here. And one thing I will just say, one very quick thing, is that while she has an organization that focuses upon the multi-generational legacies of trauma, in her work, her spirit talks about the multi-generational legacies of resilience. That's what you're all about. And so I really am just so grateful, I'm honored, I'm humbled to be amongst all of you wonderful people, and thank you for having me here. And I love you as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. With your permission, I'm going to remain seated, but hopefully my voice will carry. So my name is Jeffrey Huffines. I'm Senior Advisor for the Coalition for the UN We Need. And like all of us assembled here, Yael is my spiritual mother. She is our spiritual mother. And in fact, in a very literal sort of sense, I learned that Yael is also the same age as my mother. So I really appreciate that over the decades that I've known her, she has been a mentor to me in many incarnations of my professional development, which began when I was a UN representative of the US Baha'i community. And so it's wonderful to hear from Chief Phil Lane, who is a member of the Baha'i community, who gave us our blessing. As a co-chair of the Faith and Ethics Network of the International Criminal Court, again, she was a mentor to me in providing guidance in that role as well. And we learned from her as a leader in the intergenerational space, intercultural, as well as in the interfaith space. So as a healer and as a mentor, I look forward to continuing to engage her in her path of service. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Yes. Thanks. As Yael alluded to, I am the co-convener of the Washington Working Group for the International Criminal Court, as well as an impact coalition on strengthening international judicial institutions that supports many different forms of accountability and hopes to advance the rule of law for victim survivors worldwide. My name is Rebecca Shute, and I think I'd just like to make 3 brief reflections, if I may, that might dispel some commonly held myths that I have not found true in my experience. The first is that you should never meet your heroes. I am lucky enough to have a couple of mine in the room today. Yael, first and foremost, Professor Clark, and another very close in my mind, whom we lost yesterday, Sir Kenneth Keith, former judge of the International Court of Justice, an acclaimed and esteemed anti-nuclear activist. And as we go through this Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty Review Conference, his legacy looms large, which brings me to the second point, and perhaps not a misconception, perhaps a difference in perception, which is that I do not feel as if a torch is being passed between generations. I am lucky enough to learn from and be inspired from Yael and many elders and many juniors, younger people, as well as the specter of future generations that looms over all of us in real time. So whether it be at the Crimes Against Humanity Treaty Conference negotiations, where Yael is making sure that victims and survivors' voices are preeminent, or whether it's here at NPT, where we remember not only the legal and political ramifications of these negotiations among states, but their human repercussions, or whether it's the fight that we continue to fight to make sure that the ICC can be heard here in the United States. I am lucky enough to inhabit this space with you in real time. And so thirdly, the last and final reflection that I have is that for every survivor and victim, their story, their time is the one that resonates and must be heard and reverberate through generations. Yet we are at a moment where, by and large, we have the tools to address trauma, we have the tools to address accountability, and yet we have an unprecedented attack where we have those tools inverted and perverted against their very existential purpose. And it is not necessarily easy to continue to fight this fight, whether it's for the International Criminal Court or any other mechanism that's aimed to uphold the rule of law at this time. And yet when I look at Yael, I get the strength to continue to do so. So thank you so much, Yael.
Thank you.
No, it's okay.
These actually I know 1 minute, sorry. You're going to hear a friend here who knows me longer than anybody else. So go ahead.
Yes, on one hand, I'm not a member of the regular circle here, but on the other hand, I had the special privilege to have Yael as a schoolmate in my high school in Tel Aviv many years ago. Now, our alumni, thanks to one of our members, schoolmates, she is active in maintaining the communication between those who shared the high school at that time, and as a part of this regular communication, Yael has been a member living abroad, but she was active, and she didn't let us forget her. So eventually, we were lucky to have a meeting also of a part of that group of people organized by one friend who decided many years ago to go to Sde Boker. At the time, when Ben Gurion was there. And she organized a reunion meeting a few months ago.
No, last February. At
Last-
the end of February.
Well, last February, in Sde-Boker, and luckily enough, Yael decided and actually came, and we enjoyed her presence, and actually since then we have a rejuvenation of an old friendship.
אתה יכול להגיד שגם זה עוזר החולים שלך.
Well, I'm besides a person who likes literature and theory, I'm active in medicine. I'm an oncologist dealing with lung cancer, which is one of the hard corners in oncology. And coming from the similar chronological group as Yael, I mentioned that I'm still working as a volunteer, but I do it regularly. And we have a daughter who is another kind of volunteer. I mean, she is a person, one of the person who work hard on improving the world, and she told me once that due to my professional work, I mean, she accepts it as sufficient effort to be active in positive and good activities. And just to mention that our daughter, she works in a group called Combatant for Peace,
which is Israeli-Palestinians.
Which is where Israelis and Palestinians cooperate, and in this occasion, I'd like to commend the fellow in the other corner who mentioned the people of Gaza, because not many people mention them in the proper context.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi. Yes. I know better than to say that, actually. It's a very strange evening in some ways, beyond the horrible times we live in. And part of the strangeness is actually also because we don't have money to bring some of the awardees from Iraq or from Israel. So, so we will do it. So it's a very virtual evening, but let's make it an evening of virtue. So, I will not go into sharing with you a lot about our center. I love that center as it was my child. Every moment of the day or night. I will say very quickly that some of you who know we do have some, at least Marie was too humble to mention that she's co-chair of the Haiti working group. We have quite a few working groups at the center, be it Rwanda, be it Haiti, be it Ukraine, and I can go on and on. But please, you can see all of them on in our website. Go to our website. There is so much there. We have the richest library in the world on multi-generational legacies of trauma, not only in the social sciences, but also including anthropology, but in, of course, history, of course, and in all, as I noted before, in all disciplines. So it could be poetry, it could be playwright, it could be drama. Think about it, very few dramas are not about intergenerational legacies of trauma. We have a special section on victims' rights, the rights of future generations, and reparative justice. We have don't see it. We now even have the youth corner, but we also have, which would interest you too, we have a what we call authentic witness corner. The people who were actually there, right? So their voices, and so for one of the most important activities, and I would need your help, as I mentioned to Elsa. And we have an indigenous working group too, by the way, just in case. We have a nuclear working group. We have a worldwide study on children of all the populations, not only in Japan, Hiroshima, and Nagasaki, but all the places in the world that were exposed to nuclear experiments, including the United States, of course. And some indigenous and some not. And one of the most frequent activities are webinars, which we do literally across the world. We have audiences from like 94 countries. And they, many times, they learn about their own history for the first time. This is something that continues to blow my mind, literally. How many times a day I hear that? How come they didn't teach us in school? Okay, so and people say that in every country. It's like the conspiracy of silence is all over the place. So the webinars are excellent. They are actually assigned by professors because of that all over the world to their classes. the amazing source of knowledge. We have now nearly 90 of them. Many indigenous ones, many on reparative justice. Of course, Rwanda, you own it. Yes, you own it. Okay, we will do that later. That's the problem when you become part of the center, you work. So, yeah, and looking at Marie, I'm totally, and this is where we need constant help. The only thing that makes us less effective than we could be is not big money, but translation money, interpretation money. Because otherwise what happens, let's say we have a Yazidi webinar. So we have the Arabic translation, the Kurdish translation, but not everybody else. So it ends up, so the indigenous webinars are attended by indigenous people, the Yazidi by Yazidis, the Haitians by Haiti by Haitians, etc. Rwanda, now it's okay with English, but Kenya, Rwanda, not necessarily, no. And mind you, even if we had the UN contributing to us, many of the victim populations don't speak your languages. So even that doesn't quite help. So if you have any ideas, any goodwill, any resources, please, this is what would really help teach more people. With the nuclear, for example, one of the things I did create is the Danieli inventory for it's the gold standard today on assessing intergenerational legacies of trauma, and it is translated to many languages. One of the exciting sort of studies is we have a worldwide study, as I said before, of all nuclear exposed in the language, in the right language. Bless God for once. But I can talk about that forever, but we don't have forever tonight. So I will focus now on the award. One of the most beloved activities. So what we give is a repair award. It's for people who devote themselves to repairing the world, not only to complaining about it. That's really an important part. No, it's an important part. And when we complain and scream, it's called human rights activists. But the people who received the repair awards are people who went beyond just screaming to either force the world gently, like this one. She's so gentle and they don't know what hit them.
Bruce knows it.
Gently or literally screaming, as we've all done at some point, but also doing things, becoming skillful. It's things you never thought you needed to learn. How to talk to this one, how not to talk to that one. Okay, what does the culture require of you? Etc. People in this room are quite knowledgeable of what I'm talking about. But we want to award those. That's the point. So let's get going with that. I'm so happy Elsa is here to receive her award. But let's also acknowledge those who are not here. So, the first awardee, by the way, these are all webinars we've done. Look at that. I cannot speak enough of them. Please feel free to study. And I would like this table to take care of August 9th this year. You know what it is? It's the International Day.
Yeah, we know.
The writer. You ain't right. It's the silliest, but at any rate. And she owes me the webinar on Rwanda this year. Okay.
Another one.
So the first, good. The first awardee tonight, who had to remain in Washington because Georgetown University is doing the exercise, how do you call it, the graduation exercises, is Ambassador Melanne Verveer, and she's receiving the Leadership Award. And her award, which we kindly will send her with you. We have a volunteer. I'm so happy about that. She's receiving the award. She's an amazing lady, as you know. 1320, you know, resolution 1325 on women's peace and security. Well, she's one of those. Won't let them not have it. She did it. And she continues. I admire her implicitly. And she's receiving the award for dedicating a lifetime of global leadership to safeguard women's rights, dignity, and pivotal positions for building sustainable peace. That is so important. Security and development for generations to come. Oh, I'm so sorry. Generations to come. I'm simply reading from what you have, but it's good to have it recorded. And Melanne sent us her video, as you see.
I want to thank the International Center for Multi-Generational Legacies of Trauma for the honor you bestow on me with the Repairer Leadership Award. I very much regret that I cannot be with you in person. I have long been attracted to the call to action of Tikkun Olam, as I believe we all have the responsibility to repair the world. And ICMGLT, in all you do, you epitomize Tikkun Olam, fixing the damage done to human rights, to human beings, through trauma, healing, brokenness, and improving the world. There is so much suffering in the world today, so let me begin by thanking all of you for what you do to work to repair the world in this suffering. I want to salute your leadership, board of directors, and advisory council, and most especially Yael Danieli. I have a lasting image of Yael formed during many convenings at the United Nations on a range of critical topics relating to war and peace, human rights, justice, and reparations, and so much more. Yael is usually right up front in these events, very attentive, and she inevitably can be counted on to ask one of the most probing and important questions. I admire her greatly. She lives her convictions. A visionary, she exemplifies commitment and compassion and is an indefatigable advocate for the work that ICMGLT does every day. So thank you, Yael. We recently marked the 30th anniversary of the 4th UN World Conference on Women that took place in Beijing. At the time, then First Lady Hillary Clinton, in her keynote address, described a litany of abuses suffered by women around the world. Honor killings, the trafficking of women and girls into modern-day slavery, killing girl babies just because they were born girls, burning women because their dowries were not adequate. And after these and so many others, she said, "This is a violation of human rights." At the time, women's rights were not considered as violations of human rights under international law. Thankfully, because of the Beijing conference and the sustained efforts of so many who were struggling globally, that changed. And thanks to the adoption of the Rome Statute and the brave testimony of Bosnian women who testified before the former Yugoslavia Tribunal of the sexual violence horrors perpetrated against them, today we have legal instruments to address crimes against humanity, war crimes, and genocide, to hold perpetrators accountable. But as we all know, however, justice remains woefully inadequate. International laws are abrogated, and unchecked rulers continue to traumatize their citizens and rob them of their human dignity. Our struggle against injustice on behalf of the victims, survivors, witnesses must continue. My life has been like a movie reel of experiences working with women on the front lines of change all over the world. I think of them as you honor me because the honor is really theirs. Despite their suffering, they continue to work to make life better. I think of Orzula in Afghanistan, who I met in a discussion in Kabul when I was ambassador. She remarked, "Stop looking at us women as victims and look at us as the leaders that we are." She was right, of course. Women are all too often victimized, but they are also agents of change. Sadly, since the fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban, Afghan women are being systematically oppressed, like nowhere else in the world, stripped of all of their rights. It is nothing less than gender apartheid. They are being erased from public life, and the world has moved on. I think of them tonight. I think of the women in Ukraine and Sudan and so many other war zones. And there are more wars today than at any time since 1945. Many have been victims of conflict-related sexual violence, but they are documenting war crimes and telling the world about the torture and violence that is raging all around them. Women survivors from Ukraine have taken their experience to the United Nations and other decision-making platforms. They are calling for Russia to be placed on the Secretary General's shame list for the conflict-related sexual violence perpetrated against them. In Ukraine, men have been tortured and sexually violated as well. And men and women survivors there have told their stories in a book published through the support of the government. They have created survivors networks like SEMA, and they have called on the international community to support their needs and ensure that assistance that is provided is survivor-centered. Ludmila Husseinova is one of the survivors with whom you have worked. You've already focused also on Ukrainian children who have been systematically kidnapped by Russia, brainwashed and coerced to becoming Russians. I applaud your efforts on the abduction and militarization of the children and the efforts of people like Mykola Kuleba and save Ukraine. And I think tonight of the Yazidi women who have endured severe, systematic atrocities for a decade, including sexual slavery and torture, long-term trauma and psychological scars, displacement, and so much more. 10 years after the Yazidi genocide, the call for justice continues. Nadia Murad lost most of her family. She herself endured unspeakable abuse, yet she continues to advocate for her community and use her voice on behalf of those who are still voiceless. Today, the Murad Code is an important survivor-centric code of conduct to ensure safe, ethical, and effective documentation and investigations of conflict-related sexual violence. And I will never forget a brief conversation I had with a Bosnian woman a few years ago in Sarajevo. Long after the war had ended, she wanted to speak to me, and what she said has stayed with me. She told me she was raped during the war and added, "To this day, I can't live with myself. But my perpetrator is the policeman in the neighborhood. He is viewed as an upright citizen, and he has never been held accountable for what he did." Her story is a sad reality of thousands and thousands who have suffered atrocities and never received healing and justice. Their perpetrators have never been held accountable. Today, at our Georgetown Institute for Women, Peace, and Security, we bring together survivors from Kosovo, Bosnia, and Colombia to meet with survivors from Ukraine, to learn what was not done back then when they were affected, and what Ukraine must do now, not failing to do it. Sadly, according to the UN Secretary General's recent report, conflict-related sexual violence has seen a staggering 25% increase in reported cases in 2025 from the previous year. And this is only reported cases. We know how many are not reported. So I think of these and so many others tonight, from Myanmar to the Middle East, who have been victimized, but who struggle for reparative justice and an end to persistent violence. At the dawn of the new millennium in 1999, Elie Wiesel gave a lecture at the White House, where at the time I was an assistant to the president. He spoke eloquently about the perils of indifference. He said, "We are on the threshold of a new century and a new millennium. What will the legacy of this vanishing century be? Its failures have cast a dark shadow over humanity. 2 world wars, countless civil wars, bloodbaths in Cambodia, Algeria, Rwanda, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Sarajevo, Kosovo, and other places. The inhumanity in the Gulag and the tragedy of Hiroshima. And on a different level, of course, Auschwitz and Treblinka. So much violence, so much indifference. In a way, to be indifferent, he said, to be indifferent to suffering is what makes the human being inhuman. Indifference never benefits the victim, whose pain is magnified when he or she feels forgotten. And in denying their humanity, we betray our own. So what would Elie Wiesel think of our world today, 25 years after he delivered those words? The indifference goes on, continuing in this new century. And we must end the indifference. You at ICMGLT, understand the perils of indifference. And to you is owed much gratitude for your leadership and example in a world that desperately needs you and all that you do. The call to action to all of us is indeed Tikkun Olam. Thank you.
Let's first have Sharona Sherman Kelly introducing the nominating. Thank you. Go ahead.
Matנת Chaim, Hebrew for Gift of Life, is an Israeli non-profit organization dedicated to facilitating altruistic living kidney donations. Founded in 2009 by Rabbi Yeshayahu Haber, who was himself a kidney transplant recipient. His widow, Rachel Haber, currently serves as the president of Matנת Chaim. Matנת Chaim focuses on recruiting and supporting healthy volunteers who wish to donate a kidney to strangers solely to save lives. Due largely to Matנת Chaim's efforts, Israel has become the world leader in altruistic kidney donations per capita. We provide emotional support, guidance through medical bureaucracy, and post-operative care for both donors and recipients. Under Rachel's presidency, Matנת Chaim has continued to expand, reaching a milestone of over 2,070 kidney transplants facilitated as of now. Her recent recognition by the ICMGLT acknowledges her role in turning the personal trauma of her husband's passing into a continued mission of saving lives through altruism. Rachel was awarded the Israeli Prize for Lifetime Achievement in 2023 for her leadership and the organization's profound contribution to Israeli society. On the 25th of January 2026, Matנת Chaim officially broke the Guinness World Record for the largest gathering of organ transplant donors. The ICMGLT, led by Dr. Yael Danieli, focuses on the enduring effects of trauma across generations. By honoring Mrs. Haber, the center acknowledges Matנת Chaim as a model for how altruism can serve as a powerful tool for societal healing and post-traumatic growth on a national scale. Thank you, Sharona Sherman, CEO, Matנת Chaim.
For embodying the ethics of care, doubling altruistic living kidney donations in Israel, expertly facilitating over 2,000 transplants, reducing arduous patient and family wait time, and renewing lives. And the acceptance will be by Rachel Haber, who is the president, and the wife of that rabbi, who is no longer here, but he's the one who was a recipient.
Matנת Chaim, the Gift of Life, was founded in 2009 by my husband, Rabbi Yeshayahu Haber of Jerusalem. He suddenly developed acute kidney disease at 42 and survived on dialysis until his kidney transplant. While on dialysis, my husband met a young kidney patient, Pinchas Turgeman, also on dialysis, a bereaved brother whose only brother was killed in a terrorist attack. And after my husband's own successful transplant, he promised Pinchas to try and find him a donor. Unbelievably, after his transplant, my husband remembered his promise, didn't leave a stone unturned, until he found Pinchas an altruistic kidney donor. But, unfortunately, Pinchas suffered heart failure on the way to dialysis 2 weeks before the planned surgery date and tragically passed away. After Pinchas's sad death, my husband dedicated all his time, strength and efforts to finding kidney donors and founded Matnat Chayim to promote live kidney donations and eradicate waiting lists for kidney transplant patients. My husband did not have any previous medical background. He was an educator, a principal, devoted to his work, but his determination to save the lives of kidney patients saw no limits. He passed away from COVID-19 in April 2020, aged 55, and before the funeral, I said to my son that my husband, his father, may no longer be with us, but Matnat Chayim will not die. Matnat Chayim is leading a world revolution and has placed Israel first in live kidney donors per population, according to the World Health Organization in their 2020 and 2021 yearly reports. More than 200 kidney transplants from live donors are performed yearly through Matnat Chayim. 90% of all altruistic donors in Israel donate through Matnat Chayim. Until today, 2,070 people have donated a kidney. 2,070 lives have been saved. 2,070 families have returned to normal life. In January this year, we received the Guinness World Record for the most organ donors present in one room. This is the true Israeli spirit we are proud of. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the International Center for the Study, Prevention and Treatment of Multi-Generational Legacies of Trauma for this meaningful honor. On behalf of the entire Matnat Chayim family, I am deeply grateful to accept this award. Our work is based on kindness and responsibility. We believe one small act can change a life and help future generations. Every day, we see how organ donation saves lives, gives hope to families, and makes communities stronger. For us, this mission is about respecting people and caring for each other. We are honored to stand alongside all of you who dedicate yourselves to the important work of healing and repair in our world. Thank you again for this recognition.
In the same vein as this organization, we are giving the Repair Recognition Award to Dr. Eliahu Bechor. My friend Yoni will read his recipients. Itay, Chobotaro, his recipients' words of nomination.
Hello everyone, my name is Itay Chobotaro. I'm 47 years old, married and the father of one. For the past 4 years, I've been living with kidney failure. Most of you don't know me, and until recently I didn't know Eli before either. In fact, we had never met. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah. Shall I read it again or just go?
No, it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. Yet Eli made a decision that changed my life forever. He chose out of pure generosity to give me a part of himself, his kidney. A person who was once a complete stranger became the reason I have a second chance at a life. There are no words that can fully express what this means to me and my family. His courage and kindness go beyond anything I could have imagined. Eli, you didn't just save my life, you gave me a more time, more moments, and more hope. For that, I will be forever grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. And we are giving Eli, or Dr. Bechor, the recognition award for transcending the physician's Hippocratic oath to donate his own kidney as a physician, to reach pure altruism and become an inspiration to others, even in the caring professions. And we will now hear Eliahu's acceptance.
Hello everyone, my name is Eli. I am married to Sharona and together we have 5 wonderful children. I work as a surgeon in a hospital here in Israel. I want to tell you my story, but doing so I'm gonna try to reflect the story of many other people like me who lives in Israel. For many years I have a dream to give something special to a stranger. As a surgeon who works in a hospital, I saw many people who are in need for kidney. They're doing hemodialysis, they suffer a lot, and their life are miserable and short. And for those people, there is only one solution, a kidney transplant. Many of those can get their kidney donated from a family member or a friend, but many patients and people in Israel cannot get a kidney from their family for numerous reasons, and they try to get it from a stranger just like me. And I saw many people and I operated on many people. I did many kidney transplantation as part of my clinic and practice. And when it first came to my doorstep was when I got a message from a very good friend of mine saying that out of clear blue sky he's going to do euthanasia and going to fly to Swiss and kill himself practically because he discovered that he had end-stage renal disease in the age of 35. He had no support in Israel. He was a lonely soldier. He came from abroad to Israel, and he said just that he wanted to say goodbye before he's gonna kill himself. Obviously, all the friend and myself, we gather around, we support him, we become his family, and we quickly found someone who will generously donate his kidney to someone he doesn't even know or even heard about, just because he's one of his people. And this seed went on with me. I saw the greatness, I saw the impact of this action. My friend had his kidney transplant within 3 months. Afterwards, he got in a relationship. He established a startup company. He works with dogs. He flies all over the world to promote his company and is very successful. And he was genuinely on the doorstep of killing himself. A few years later, when I flew back to Israel to try to help all the wounded and the people who suffer after the massacre of October 7th, I knew that once I was done with this part, I'm gonna do the next step and donate my kidney to someone I don't know just because he's one of my fellow human, as an act of giving back, of trying to spread goodness in a terrible situation that we were. And 6 months ago, I had the opportunity to going through the operation. I gave one of my kidneys to someone I don't know. His name is Itay. We've met just on the day of the operation. My wife met his wife, and we stay in a very good relationship. He was surprised to see that someone will give something this intimate to someone he doesn't know, but for me it was an obvious act. And not because I'm very special, it is because many people in Israel are in this family of donating their kidneys to someone stranger. As some of you may know, we just got the Guinness record for the most people who donate their kidney getting a picture. Over 2,000 people currently in Israel and counting. And I think it's an act of kindness, but also fairness, because as I always says, if I have one spare kidney and my fellow human doesn't have even one, it is just unfair that I would live with you while he needs to go through hemodialysis and suffering. When Yael approached me to reflect her thought and to see if I would like to hear about the organization and this great opportunity to receive this honor, I was hesitant because I really try to get as far as I can from any rewarding, especially if it may be involving in any kind of politics or any kind of those things. And I say I would need time to look into it, and I saw all the great and important things the organization and Yael are doing, and really without even 1 ounce of politics or just doing good for the sake of goodness for humanity. And I, being a part of such a honored group, I feel that I'm not worthy. I see myself as a representative of the 2,000 patients who gave their kidney and not just me as one person. So, I mean, for me it was a great experience doing this process, and this evening and this honor just reflect the kindness that we have tried to spread, and hopefully those goodness and act of good will lead to more good and will prevent something that are not good, as we all know human can do. Thank you very much. It is a great honor. It's a great honor to be part of this kind of group, and may God be with you all. Thank you.
It's beyond altruism in my Bible. The logic was amazing to me. Well, she's here. The one recipient who is here. So, Elsa Stamatopoulou, the beloved Elsa Stamatopoulou, is receiving the Repair Leadership Award. And Professor Pamela Kalla is going to nominate her. Stand up. Yeah, stand. Oh, I see.
Oh, it's okay.
Are you okay?
Thank you for this opportunity.
That's perfect. This is perfect.
I was told to prepare 4 minutes
Exactly, but everybody else went over, so you can do that.
So I did prepare 5 minutes. So I wrote a longer piece of 10 minutes, and then I cut it slowly
But you can send it to her.
I have a long version. Yeah, this is an honor and a privilege to be talking to you, Elsa, and to express in 5 minutes what I feel for you, which is very hard because we have a long history of friendship, of being colleagues, and of being scholar activists. So I'm going to read what I wrote this afternoon for you. I met Elsa in 2011 when she was starting to work at Columbia University. Her long years of advocacy and activism at the United Nations around indigenous peoples and their global movement for self-determination were going to become part of academia. That was a challenge, right? I was teaching at Columbia for a semester, transitioning towards a more permanent job at NYU. I was immediately drawn to her kind gaze and her welcoming smile, just like now. Our affinities around work with the indigenous movement at large and our special research action dedication to indigenous women constellated in the way that stars group together in the black infinite sky. At that moment, I felt I had known Elsa forever, and we never stopped working together since. Sorry. In fact, I witnessed how Elsa turned her commitment, advocacy work, and involvement with indigenous peoples movement through the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues into all kinds of initiatives at the university level. In my longer speech, I had listed all of those initiatives. In this one I said courses, workshops, seminars, conferences, books, and more. Indigenous studies in higher education were enriched by Elsa's contributions to what was already being built by indigenous intellectuals themselves, some at Columbia and many others at universities in the country and around the world. This contribution also involved the development of a specific pedagogy that contrasted in radical ways with the pedagogies of cruelty that are becoming dominant in our contemporary world. I therefore witnessed this evolving pedagogy of patient listening and trust in practice, in your practice, Elsa, in your work with indigenous women. Over the years, this pedagogy had led many of us who worked with Elsa, Miriam, for example, to carefully connect the global dimensions of the movement with the everyday experiences of people in the regional, national ones, and in their local communities. Indigenous women are historically central to their local social fabric and to the ongoing creation of a politics of care that allows them to regenerate and socially reproduce their communities and movements, despite destruction, massacres, and genocide. Thus, in the various workshops, seminars, and courses, the back and forth dialogues with and between indigenous women around such concepts like land as pedagogy, body, land, territory, buen vivir, living well,
and the appropriation of the global discourse on rights to bring healing and the possibility of reparation to their communities and movements became crucial. I felt totally immersed in the web of life that all of us were part of, and I saw Elsa's presence and practice helping and pushing us to listen to each other carefully in order to create connecting concepts necessary to make sense of our own realities and guide our collective action. Sorry. Elsa left for a little while, as she often does in her trips all over the world. I remember writing to Sophia, her daughter, about a dream I had, or maybe I dreamt that I wrote to Sophia. I think I was missing Elsa a lot. In the dream, I saw Elsa's smile and gaze again. Calm, kind, and clear. It was a gaze of happiness and affirmation of what we had built together with all kinds of women, indigenous and non-indigenous. We were accompanying each other and accompanied other women in our purposeful political agendas. Our bodies were so alive, Elsa. Like the rivers when they flow and make all kinds of noises, all kinds of sounds. The pedagogy of patient listening and trust turned into a river-like trajectory to listen and accompany each other in our multiple feminisms and in our urgent agenda to construct a politics of healing and reparation. In the dream, we all became the river. When I think of that dream now, I am reminded of Alton Krenac's notion of affective alliances and the historical constellation of our deep and structural feelings, affinities, and commitments. I also think of Leanne Simpson's notion of constellations of co-resistance. Elsa is fully communicating and practicing all these notions, being constructed from below, thus creating the possibility of otherwise alternative worlds with all of us. Thank you so much, Elsa.
You know, she's my teacher.
What's wrong with notes? So as I said before, Elsa is receiving the Repair Leadership Award for lovingly and resolutely helping to navigate the global legal, political, and cultural shoals to ensure indigenous peoples' rights, dignified international participation, and advance the world movement of self-determination. And I love you so much. And by the way, I know her from 1984. It is beautiful. You would love it.
Can I speak?
You can speak.
May I leave it there?
You can leave it there.
Next to the
This
salmon.
is how it started, and this is how it keeps going.
Okay.
Now, speak close.
Yes, my dear friends, first of all, I want to call you my distinguished founder and executive director of the International Center, my amazing Yael Danieli. You are not mine, you are the world's. You are everybody. And also I want to say, distinguished members of the center, all of you that are here, you know, and all this family, and all of you that are not members that are here. Because I feel that stealing from the title of the center, we are having an intergenerational celebration. Not drama tonight, it's celebration. It's beautiful. And I want to say, all of you that are here and that shared words before, it was so special, you know, and I think we should be doing a seminar week long, you know. This is not enough, 3 hours is nothing. Exactly. So, and my dear friends who came here to accompany me, and Pamela, with your words, I'm so grateful. I just want to share some thoughts because it's very special. I was very deeply moved when I received Dr. Danieli's letter in December, last December, informing me with a well-known warmth that the board of the International Center has voted unanimously to present me with the organization's 2026 Repair Leadership. Quote, in recognition of your inspiring, intergenerational, transformative, reparative work, the letter said. Having known for decades Dr. Danieli's commitment to survivors and her commitment and effective advocacy to bring her deep knowledge of multi-generational trauma into public policy and action, made this moment even more humbling. The creation of the center is just one of her achievements. The center, as she said before, is dedicated to advancing research, education, clinical practice, and advocacy that address the causes and consequences of trauma across generations. But her travels around the world, and I know them, including to Rwanda, I know them, to advocate about the issues and the international aspects also, how we can internationally help with these very difficult issues, have written history. My deep respect to you, dear Yael, for all that. My deep respect. And I want to say that when we met, I had the very good luck to navigate very closely to your path. And I'm not a psychologist or analyst. I am a lawyer and human rights advocate. And I'm very happy we are several lawyers here. But how do we link with, she taught me that, how we can link our knowledge systems. And that was for me a revelation, a personal, realization that through our collaboration that you created, I realized you are dealing with human rights. Oh my gosh, she's dealing with human rights. But she's a psychologist. But we are both dealing with human rights from different perspectives. You know? And I want to say something unwritten here. That in those days when I met Yael, the human rights system of the United Nations, where I have worked 22 years ago, we were not focusing on survivors and victims. And she was asking me, what are you doing for survivors and victims? And I said, no, listen, we are focusing, on those perpetrators. That is our focus. And she said, but you have to deal with the victims and the survivors. And it was through advocacy like Yael's, but unique to Yael actually, and her work also at the UN Commission on Human Rights in Geneva, that we managed to touch and deal with the issue of victims and survivors. Reparation was the next big word, the big R. Okay? So that was, it is interesting how our minds and the minds of politicians, but also of advocates, right, from around the world, we had not yet focused. It was much later that we were able to focus. Actually, late 80s maybe, right? Late 80s. So I realized, So I realized that Yael is of course interested in children's rights, in women's rights, in indigenous rights, in the rights of all those who are marginalized and discriminated, and are survivors, and that need this repair, right? And for me, because English is not my mother tongue, I want to repair it. It was the first time I was reading this word, repair. Interesting, it was another revelation, yeah. So as we know, being a repairer of indignity and injustice starts with active, meaningful listening, right? And understanding of our fellow human beings. And it continues with strengthening resilience and hope and rebuilding paths for solutions. All of us who care and work for justice and for the correction of systemic injustices across generations know how meaningful it is to hold hands of solidarity and to work together in these struggles. And this honor today, I feel, is a gesture of solidarity among us, right? Among us as those who believe in this repairing, and we hold these hands to strengthen each other and to strengthen our work for a better humanity. And two robust international social movements, my friends, have inspired me and have taught us, not just me, a lot of lessons over the decades. And they are the women's movement and the indigenous peoples movement, the two of these movements who have used very strongly the human rights agenda and the dignity and social justice agenda. And I want to say and finish because she was so strict with me. She said 3 minutes. So I was cutting you. It makes no difference. But I want to say that I am grateful for the teachings of these two movements and the inspirations that I received from them. Since my early days, I was not always a grandmother like now. I have learned about resistance, resilience, and hope. You were saying, whatever happens, we'll continue. We stand up and we'll continue. Yes, this is what we do. This is what this is. And the indigenous leaders and the women leaders have played this role of repairers for me in my own life over the years. And let me finish by saying this, that when we hold hands with those that have faced indignity and injustice, the women, the children, the indigenous people, actually we can be better repairers for the whole humanity, right? And so by thanking you profusely today and saying what a big honor it is to receive this honor from you, I want to say that I devote it, I pass it on in my mind, with my heart and my mind, to those who have taught me all this before. So thank
Probably only Bruce knows that Elsa and I did a book together.
Yeah, I didn't say
that was
There
for
are many
the
secrets
50th
you don't know.
anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And she says I'm strict with her. That's a joke, I mean.
We are strict to each other.
Yes, between us. But what was special about that it was really a celebration of our mutual teaching, was that we did a review of all the human rights, okay, in 50 years, but from the point of view of whether they have reached the victims.
Yes, I did that.
What was the name of the
Okay?
book?
What is the name of the book?
What is the name of that book?
Give her
Oh,
the name.
it's very important.
I will give it to you.
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 50 and beyond.
50. It was the 50th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and so we were doing
50 and beyond.
50 years and beyond, something like that.
Yeah.
A vision, you know what we've
and
had
another
and
thing
you know.
that was absolutely
I will tell you what it is.
spectacular about that book, and it still serves as a textbook, you know.
It's
that,
used, I know.
That we didn't only include chapters of experts like Professor Clark, who is in that book.
Yes, absolutely.
But we included what we called voices.
Yes,
Remember? We had actual victim voices throughout the book.
Survivors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Victim, well, in my work, it's victim / survivor.
Yeah.
Because you're not a survivor unless you've been a victim. And legally, I need to tell my lawyer friends, of course, we have victims' rights, we don't have survivor rights. So I like to keep their interests by keeping the word victim. Last but not least, we're giving an award to an amazing human being who is no longer with us, actually. We're giving the award for the person who is carrying his legacy. And Mahida knows all about that, and I'm so happy you're here. Yes, I was afraid that you wouldn't come.
I get less nervous, but I have, yeah.
This is fine, this is fine. And I even have some pictures with the Baba Sheikhs, which you can show. Baba Sheikh of the Yazidi people. Okay, I will not speak much. Maybe I will make some comments later. Here I'm with him.
That's new Baba Sheikh.
Yes, it's in his home. It's fine. And you can see I'm all over him already. Right, so. And the person near him is Pir Mamo, who is in our agency, the working group. An amazing man. Now, I almost wore this outfit here tonight because it is so But what I would like to do is, we have two people nominating him. A survivor, Jane, who was a victim of the 2014 genocide. And then let's first listen to Jane. It's subtitled.
هتناوتكم ونافي مجاني أليانسا أم كونا تسداعش سيهاش أم كتنا تسداعش وبين صار تسداعش لما أزو سارو كيخوم أم هات رزقار بون أم هاتن وكم شونا برشي خادي بدسي باب الشيخ حلال كرن وشونا برشي خادي زاري ما مهوركم حلال كرن وكا أم طريقة أي باب الشيخ وإيزي خاني وهمي هاتن ومني هو أنا قلك بخويا بوني براسي وقدري ما قلت في ساعة تجي قدري ما تقرن وإن شاء الله الناجيات الدسة عشر إن شاء الله هم وين سرب ريا باب الشيخ وحلال كرني وإن شاء الله همين نفكس خداني خو وسخيراتنا هم واتك وتابة باب الشيخ جي يزيد خاني هم وإبر باري مرة وقدري ما وساري ما قرتي ويفان ناجيات عش.
Hi everyone, I'm Dalia. I'm speaking as a community member. Actually, I see that this decision is more than welcoming our guests back home. In the darkest moment, the late Baba Sheikh made a clear and historic decision that he declared our survivors who return are just victims. They are not criminals. They are not impure. They are not marked as shame. They are our daughters, they are our mothers, they are our sisters. They return with full dignity and honor because what happened to them was not their own choice. They subjected to unimaginable violence, suffering, and tortures against their will. Actually, Baba Sheikh's statement declares a clear message to the world that our daughters belong to us, belong to their families, belong to the community. We love them, we need them, we want them. The moment of their return is like represents strength and honor for the entire community. Actually, his decision, I see, preserving our identity, protecting us from division, from spiritual distraction that ISIS wanted to create. As a community member, I'm happy and proud of his decision, as he chose humanity over stigma, dignity over shame, and unity over division. And at the end, I would like to thank International Center of Multi-Generational Legacy of Trauma for giving attention and importance to the Yazidi case. Thank you so much.
And so Jane, which is not her name, of course, is talking about her own experience. Now, what's important is that the Yazidi religion has been one of the purest religions, right? You're not allowed to touch anyone and certainly not have sexual relationship with someone from another group. And here you had thousands of women, and so that in the past, in Iraq, as it has been throughout the world, because of religions. In the past, after I worked in the Central African Republic, I worked all over the place, but there in particular, it was so horrible. The perpetrators had total impunity, while the women who were raped became social outcasts. So they had sort of what I call social death penalty, including their children that were born of rape. So with that background, I get to know the Yazidi people, and I read that the Baba Sheikh at the time put a new decree that the Yazidi women who had been raped are our mothers and sisters, and they are to be accepted by the family and embraced by the community. This was, for me, it was amazing. It was earth-shaking after all the rest of the experiences I had with that horrible crime. So he died, and the sheikh, the Baba Sheikh now, the one you saw in picture, is the first thing he said to me when we met. I believe in equality with women and in justice. I said, well, that's it. But so Jane spoke from the survivor point of view, right? What did it mean to the survivor to be able to come back? A lalish that he mentioned, cleansing in lalish. I've been to lalish. Lalish is a beautiful maya. It's like a water. It's pure waterfall. That when you cleanse yourself in it, your life is clean, is new. Okay? So oh God, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were there. Are you okay? So that's what she mentioned, and that's what the Baba Sheikh suggested, that they go through these rituals and then accepted by the community, etc. So let's now listen to Dalia. That is her real name. She's in our working group. And Dalia will tell you from the point of view of the community what it meant to receive the women. Okay? So go ahead.
كالجيكود أبو جوامر خدم راح من الدعاء وانجي الموت سبودارا وحمو إيز ديابل ميري شيخا إبري بي وبابي شيخي بري ما جوامر وان أكبر يا ردا وأمشي رزيل بي برياري الجديد وتشتي هري جوان أول بي برياري دا إلو روش جهيلد ما إيز ديا وشواش كشكات زوجج بجا أو وكل شاد بجي أو نجاح داوي برياري أو وقتي جهلت إزداد تقبلاوي برياري كلي وزواج بالوان كشكا كلي هيدي مشغولي هر إنسانة كل دنيا لبيتا غدر كرن وبيتا تعدلي كرن وكو شاوا بابي شيخ وميلي شيخا بريار جيدان وأفكش كو جلدنا إينان حلال كرن وصا أو كسنجي بين حلال كرن الحمو أديانا دانا بس تني إزدياتي دا ورب العالمين دعاء الحمو الدنيا إزديا في بلادي وحازلوا ودارا بكان فان نخوشيا وفان شرا وفان آقري الدنيا حمو كي جيبان بدنيا خوشي وسناي بدأت حمو الدنيا وموت وستو ودارا صلاة بد ما جيبوي وين ريخراوة صدمة هينا وبوان كادلو كارمدي تويجي حموكي هينا ورب العالمين عملي وخراد ريشكت بهيبي مش خدي خير وخلماتي توان حموكا قبلكت او كسي البي حقي انسان المردود بقرد ورب العالمين دعاء لوكا تعملي ودريشكت دعاء هاتنا وشيكت.
Do you want to say something?
Of course, yeah.
Please. Sorry, I know you want to eat.
Sure.
So my Vida is a survivor story. And she's trusting us with her presence. Can you speak to? I know you speak well.
Yeah. I speak a lot. I love speak. Speaking is my favorite hobby. Yeah.
I tell her only 2 minutes.
So my name is Mediha. I'm a ESD survivor and I'm a ESD activist. I make documentary. It's called Mediha. It's a winner awards around the world. And then also I'm a survivor too. I was captured by ISIS 4 years, and then my parents they killed my parents, ISIS, and then I only have like 3 brothers. They are back in home. They are in Iraq, in Sinjar. Yeah. Any question if you guys have? Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I have a question.
Of course.
So I don't think my voice is pretty loud, so I can share without the mic. Just my sister, thank you so much for your strength and your courage this evening. Thank you for who you are and what your life, in spite of all the challenges, you are here honoring us with your presence. So I just want to say, from a fellow sister from India, from Manipur, and also coming from a place, land which is also captured by a lot of armed militants right now, to let you know that we stand with you and your people, and we are all relatives in the world. So thank you for being, for the voice that the Yazidi women, in spite of everything, is teaching the world.
Wait, do you know, sorry. I always say everyone needs justice, not just Yazidi people. And then that's why, like, I'm here in New York City studying and then getting my education done and then be a human rights lawyer because I really want to be a human rights lawyer because we all around more women, girls, and then children, and then even men too. They need justice too. Yeah.
Yes.
I always say,
True.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Let's go.